Hello guys, welcome to another episode. Today's episode is from Ellis Island here, New York City. Look, behind me, it's my ship waiting for me. I'm gonna start the episode from here, Ellis Island. Look, my background, guys. I started off Liberty. So guys, let's go ahead and start the episode from here. And you and I gonna have fun. Let's begin. Woo!
The Statue of Liberty, Enlightening the World, French, La Liberté, éclairant le monde, is a colossal neoclassical sculpture on Liberty Island in New York Harbor in New York City, in the United States. The copper statue, a gift from the people of France, was designed by French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, and its metal framework was built by Gustave Eiffel. The statue was dedicated on October 28, 1886. The statue is a figure of Libertas, a robed Roman liberty goddess. She holds a torch above her head with her right hand, and in her left hand carries a tabula ansata inscribed, July 4, 1776, in Roman numerals, the date of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. A broken shackle and chain lie at her feet as she walks forward, commemorating the recent national abolition of slavery. After its dedication, the statue became an icon of freedom and of the United States, seen as a symbol of welcome to immigrants arriving by sea. Bartholdi was inspired by a French law professor and politician, Édouard René de La Boulaye, who is said to have commented in 1865 that any monument raised to U.S. independence would properly be a joint project of the French and American peoples. The Franco-Prussian War delayed progress until 1875, when La Boulaye proposed that the French finance the statue and the United States provide the site and build the pedestal. Bartholdi completed the head and the torch-bearing arm before the statue was fully designed, and these pieces were exhibited for publicity at international expositions. The torch-bearing arm was displayed at the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia in 1876, and in Madison Square Park in Manhattan from 1876 to 1882. Fundraising proved difficult, especially for the Americans, and by 1885 work on the pedestal was threatened by lack of funds. Publisher Joseph Pulitzer, of the New York World, started a drive for donations to finish the
Welcome guys to another episode in front of the Statue of Liberty, one of the landmarks of New York City. Let me tell you, I know you want to be here with your family members, with your family, with your kids. I know you want to be here, but to be here you have to be a financial freedom person, to have number one, money, number two, time, and that way to earn a lot to spend in these type of things. I know it's not important in your life, but you have to know the Statue of Liberty. Where? Look, my background. And it's island. I know you want to be here. I know you want to bring your family over here to have this scenario, to have these backgrounds. Absolutely, you can do so. Let me tell you, the way do I make money? I'm an online seller. I have an online website with online traffic that I drive from the social media to my website, direct to my offer, and also cash the information about the email or telephone number to the customers or final client or potential client, and make upselling every day for the whole year, even though that this person already buy from me or will going to buy from me. So the way that you can be here and have knowledge is study what type of thing give you the opportunity to make 100,000 yearly. 100,000 yearly. Let me tell you, I know you don't know this type of information. You know how much you have to earn yearly to consider it not low income family, a medium class person, or high standard person. At least 100,000 yearly. 100,000 yearly is the top to be considered a financial freedom person, because even though that you make that type of money, you have the time to invest in have that money with a return for you. But the best way to invest is invest in your knowledge, knowing what kind of business give you that amount of money. And let me tell you, you can make in my type of business, in my model of business, in my angle of business, more than $10,000 weekly. Let me tell you how. With this type of software, it's totally free that I'm gonna give you. You're gonna know the possibility to be viral and also know how to sell online, how to sell through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, be a YouTuber to drive traffic from the social media direct to your website or your offer. Also, number two, you're gonna have the possibility to upload your website totally free with an autoresponder to receive all the traffic that you're gonna drive from the social media and start an upselling campaign for the people who approach to your offer. And number three, even though that you don't like to show your face on a video or maybe be a YouTuber or maybe make a viral video to do so and attract people from the social media that everyone is connected together direct to your offer, I'm gonna give you more than 200 daily leads to sell to those people, even though that you don't have any experience selling online. You're gonna have more than 200 persons daily with their email and prepared with a credit card to buy. The type of offer that you're gonna offer is up to you. You have to take a decision what type of niche you're gonna do so and make money online. Let me tell you, that way to be here is being a financial freedom person. To have number one, money, number two, time, and number three, the willingness to be here. If you are that type of person, subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, share this content, and comment below that you want to be a financial freedom person and be vlogging from here, from Ellis Island. Let's take a look, guys.
Design and construction process. Origin. Both the Roman goddess Libertas and sun god Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, pictured, influenced the design of Liberty, enlightening the world. According to the National Park Service, the idea of a monument presented by the French people to the United States was first proposed by Édouard René de Laboulaye, president of the French Anti-Slavery Society and a prominent and important political thinker of his time. The project is traced to a mid-1865 conversation between Laboulaye, a staunch abolitionist, and Frédéric Bartholdi, a sculptor. In after-dinner conversation at his home near Versailles, Laboulaye, an ardent supporter of the Union in the American Civil War, is supposed to have said, "If a monument should rise in the United States, as a memorial to their independence, I should think it only natural if it were built by united effort, a common work of both our nations." 8. The National Park Service, in a 2000 report, however, deemed this a legend traced to an 1885 fundraising pamphlet, and that the statue was most likely conceived in 1870. In another essay on their website, the Park Service suggested that Laboulaye was minded to honor the Union victory and its consequences. With the abolition of slavery and the Union's victory in the Civil War in 1865, Laboulaye's wishes of freedom and democracy were turning into a reality in the United States. In order to honor these achievements, Laboulaye proposed that a gift be built for the United States on behalf of France. Laboulaye hoped that by calling attention to the recent achievements of the United States, the French people would be inspired to call for their own democracy in the face of a repressive monarchy. According to sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, who later recounted the story, Laboulaye's alleged comment was not intended as a proposal, but it inspired Bartholdi. 8. Given the repressive nature of the regime of Napoleon III, Bartholdi took no immediate action on the idea except to discuss it with Laboulaye. Bartholdi was in any event busy with other possible projects. In the late 1860s, he approached Ismail Pasha, Khedive of Egypt, with a plan to build Progress or Egypt carrying the light to Asia, a huge lighthouse in the form of an ancient Egyptian female fellah or peasant, robed and holding a torch aloft, at the northern entrance to the Suez Canal in Port Said. Sketches and models were made of the proposed work, though it was never erected. There was a classical precedent for the Suez Proposal, the Colossus of Rhodes, an ancient bronze statue of the Greek god of the sun, Helios. This statue is believed to have been over 100 feet 30 meters high, and it similarly stood at a harbor entrance and carried a light to guide ships. Both the Khedive and Lesseps declined the proposed statue from Bartholdi, citing the expensive cost. The port said lighthouse was built instead, by François Coinet in 1869. Dedication. Unveiling of the Statue of Liberty, Enlightening the World, 1886, by Edward Moran. Oil on canvas. The J. Clarence Davies Collection, Museum of the City of New York. A ceremony of dedication was held on the afternoon of October 28, 1886. President Grover Cleveland, the former New York governor, presided over the event. 108. On the morning of the dedication, a parade was held in New York City. Estimates of the number of people who watched it ranged from several 100,000 to 1 million. President Cleveland headed the procession, then stood in the reviewing stand to see bands and marchers from across America. General Stone was the Grand Marshal of the parade. The route began at Madison Square, once the venue for the Arm, and proceeded to the Battery at the southern tip of Manhattan by way of Fifth Avenue and Broadway, with a slight detour so the parade could pass in front of the World Building on Park Row. As the parade passed the New York Stock Exchange, traders threw ticker tape from the windows, beginning the New York tradition of the ticker tape parade. A nautical parade began at 12:45 p.m., and President Cleveland embarked on a yacht that took him across the harbor to Bedloe's Island for the dedication. 110. De Lesseps made the first speech, on behalf of the French committee, followed by the chairman of the New York Committee, Senator William M. Evarts. A French flag draped across the statue's face was to be lowered to unveil the statue at the close of Evarts's speech, but Bartholdi mistook a pause as the conclusion and let the flag fall prematurely. The ensuing cheers put an end to Evarts's address. 109. President Cleveland spoke next, stating that the statue's stream of light shall pierce the darkness of ignorance and man's oppression until liberty enlightens the world. That 111. Bartholdi, observed near the dais, was called upon to speak, but he declined. Orator Chauncey M. Depew concluded the speech-making with a lengthy address. No members of the general public were permitted on the island during the ceremonies, which were reserved entirely for dignitaries. The only women granted access were Bartholdi's wife and de Lesseps's granddaughter. Officials stated that they feared women might be injured in the crush of people. The restriction offended area suffragists, who chartered a boat and got as close as they could to the island. The group's leaders made speeches applauding the embodiment of liberty as a woman and advocating women's right to vote. A scheduled fireworks display was postponed until November 1 because of poor weather. Shortly after the dedication, the Cleveland Gazette, an African-American newspaper, suggested that the statue's torch not be lit until the United States became a free nation in reality. Liberty enlightening the world, indeed. The expression makes us sick. This government is a howling farce. It cannot, or rather does not, protect its citizens within its own borders. Renovation and rededication, 1982 to 2000. The statue was examined in great detail by French and American engineers as part of the planning for its centennial. In 1986-in 1982, it was announced that the statue was in need of considerable restoration. Careful study had revealed that the right arm had been improperly attached to the main structure. It was swaying more and more when strong winds blew, and there was a significant risk of structural failure. In addition, the head had been installed 2 feet (0.61 meters) off-center, and one of the rays was wearing a